Hi guys, welcome back to We Should Talk, a pop culture interview series from In the Know. I'm your host, Gibson Johns, and this week on the podcast, we have Lisa Hochstein from The Real Housewives of Miami, which just returned for its fourth season on Peacock after 8 years away. Lisa was on the second and third seasons of the show, and I've always thought that she was a great presence on the show. I binged Miami this fall, and I felt that she was really kind of a solid cast member, and she could play both sides, but she could also get into the drama. And she's back for the fourth season, which I'm really happy to see. And so we talked about kind of everything that's happened over the past 8 years. And, you know, a lot has happened in her life. She has 2 kids who she welcomed via surrogacy. Her and Lenny had some trouble in their marriage that they got through. They opened a med spa together. So there's kind of updates on all fronts in Lisa's life, and she addressed all of those in this interview. She's a little bit cryptic about what we can expect from the season, which is fair because we're still pretty early on in it. But yeah, it was a great interview, and if you're excited about Miami being back, which I'm definitely one of those people, you'll love this. And she had some good updates, honestly, also on kind of how close she stayed with some of the cast members, especially the ones that are returning. And also, I asked her about, you know, how much contact she's had with Joanna and Leah, and obviously, the end of that third season, if you watched it, was really fiery, and she kind of had a falling out from Joanna, so it was interesting to hear those updates as well. And she also kind of hinted that she would like a Leah Black return for a potential 5th season of Miami, which makes you think, I would say. But anyway, it was a great interview, so keep listening for my chat with Lisa Hochstein from The Real Housewives of Miami. Stream the show on Peacock with new episodes every Thursday, and please rate, review, and subscribe to We Should Talk on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. All right, you guys, we are here with Lisa Hochstein from The Real Housewives of Miami, which it kind of feels surreal to say is back. It is on Peacock now. Lisa, how are you? This is so exciting.
I am so good. How are you?
I'm great. So we're here 8 years later after the season 3 of Miami. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling? I mean, there's now new episodes out in the world. People are watching the season 4. What's going through your mind?
I haven't quite grasped the idea that we're back. It's still like, I'm still processing this whole thing. But today it's definitely like, wow, okay, we're back. A lot of people didn't think we would come back, and I always knew that we would be back.
And how did you know that? Was it a feeling? Was it just whispers you were hearing? What was sort of your mindset over the years?
Oh, interesting question. I just always felt that we would be back, because why wouldn't they have a Miami Housewives? This is the best city, in my opinion, in the world. I also spoke to a psychic after we were, I guess you would say, canceled, or as Andy would say, dead in the water. The psychic told me that we would be coming back, not right away. It would take some time. And of course, you know, I take that with a grain of salt. Like, okay, maybe she's lying to me. I don't know. She also told me that I was expecting my son, which I was at the time, and nobody else knew. Wow. So, you know, she's been right about a lot of things, and she's right about the show, because here we are.
That's incredible. I love that. So, you know, as the years went on, was your mindset like, okay, it could be this year? Or were you sort of like living your life and kind of like, okay, whenever it comes back or whenever the time comes, it will happen? Like, I'm just curious, because 8 years is a long time, and a lot has happened with this whole group and in your life as well.
Yeah.
To be waiting on something. And so I'm curious how much you were sort of like kind of waiting with bated breath, or just kind of living your life and like, you know, when the time comes, the time will come.
Another interesting question. Over the past 8 years, we have, you know, been asked to come back, and we thought we were going to come back. Everything was set. And we really thought maybe 5 years ago we were coming back, and then nothing. And then maybe 2 years later, they asked us if we would be interested in coming back. Nothing. And so when they asked us this last time, I did not believe it.
Right. It was like you were being teased.
Although I knew, because the psychic told me that we would be back. But it's like surreal to me. I just can't believe it's actually happening and we're back.
What was the moment like when you found out it was coming back and you were going to be a part of it again? What was that moment? Describe that for me.
It was surreal. My husband's jaw hit the floor because he was a non-believer. He's like, you're never coming back. Every time I told him we were asked to come back, he's like, it's never going to happen. So he was shocked, as was I. And yeah, it's just unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And we're very happy. I mean, we're all so ecstatic that we're finally back. I loved doing the show. I loved doing it this time around. And I'm excited to share my life with the fans.
Good. Yeah. I feel like you must have felt, I was going to ask you must have felt, because it's kind of like once a housewife, always a housewife, right? And it's kind of like this club you're always going to be a part of. And I feel like part of that is just constantly getting, tweeted at and tagged in things and probably just constant social media reminders of like these amazing moments you've had on the show. What was that like to always be reliving that?
Yeah, the fans, we have super fans. They never forgot about us. They started a campaign to bring us back. So, they really helped and spread the word and made a lot of noise. Andy heard, Bravo heard, and that's why I think we're here.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I binged all of Miami this past like couple months, and so it's very top of mind for me. And I was so happy that I finished that and knowing that I was going to have new episodes right away. So I didn't have the wait time experience, but I'm so glad that you felt that love from fans over the years, because it probably does keep you going.
It definitely keeps us going, and the women and I have remained so close over the years. Like, they're some of my best friends. We do everything together. We have a sisterhood and we're like sisters. So you'll really get to see that.
Yeah, I love the group that came back. It's you, it's Marisol, it's Alexia, it's Adriana. I guess you weren't on with Larsa when she was on season 1, but I think that the right people came back, and it sounds like you guys really kept in touch with one another and maintained those friendships and almost grew those friendships in the off years. Is that correct to say? That you became even closer?
100%. I really didn't know anybody when I first started filming 9 and 8 years ago, but we quickly realized we liked each other. And when we finished filming, we didn't want the relationship to end there. I wanted these women in my life, and we really have a special bond because we went through this crazy journey together.
Yeah. Yeah. And as Marisol says I think it's in the premiere episode, when she says that you guys have been through death, divorce, and reboots, ending with that joke. But like, in all seriousness, a lot has gone on in all of your guys' lives over the past almost decade. And it's really special, I think, that you guys were, 1, able to be there for one another, but also 2, are all able to come back and then to kind of share those experiences with these viewers who weren't there for every step of the way, and we can get caught up with your lives because so much has happened, and I'm curious for you guys, for you individually, but also sort of as a group, was there any apprehension about coming back and having to address all these really kind of major things that have happened in all your lives?
I can't speak for all of the women, but I'm sure for some of them, because some of them really had crazy things happen to them in the last 8 years. So I'm sure that was not easy. And I actually know firsthand, because I speak to them all the time, that wasn't a lot of the topics that we had to address on the show were not easy for myself as well.
Yeah.
There's things that I've gone through, like the rest of the world, in the past 8 years that I had to address that wasn't fun for me to go there.
Mm-hmm. I mentioned Larsa is the person that came back. She was on season 1, so she wasn't there when your first go around. And then she comes back kind of with the rest of you guys as kind of one of the OGs. And it seemed like you guys are friendly and already get along pretty well in these first couple of episodes that we've seen. What's your friendship like with Larsa, and what will we see kind of going forward with you guys? Or how did you guys first even meet?
I've known Larsa she was more of an acquaintance for the past like 10, 14 years. I've seen her around. I've been here in Miami Beach for almost 15 years now. And so of course, like we run in the same circles. I've always seen her out, but we never had a relationship. We just say hi and bye. And in the past, I guess like 4 or 5 years, we have gotten closer, and especially in the last year. Mm-hmm. And we've quickly realized that we have a lot in common, and we like to do the same things. We have so many of the same friends.
It seems like though you might, I mean, I don't know if this is going to put you in a precarious position, but it seems as though we're kind of being set up to see Adriana kind of coming for her in some sort of way. And like, you know, some of the Kardashian, like kind of association there. What can we expect from that? Because I feel like I'm getting little hints of it, and obviously you're friends with both of them. So what can we expect there?
All I have to say is you need to tune in to find out. It's super juicy. There's a lot that goes down, not just with those two, with other women as well, that you would never expect, myself included. You know, just when you get women that have so many strong, different, unique personalities, you're bound to have drama. And of course, a housewife show without drama. So.
Absolutely not. But we also wouldn't be a housewife show without some of the personal stories. And you guys, again, as we sort of alluded to, you guys really opening up about big things in your lives, tough things in your lives. And one of those things that we saw with you in season 3 was your struggle with fertility and how hard that was for you and Lenny. Mm-hmm. And you know, last time we saw you guys, I guess the update at the end of the season was that that first surrogate had fallen through. But then it makes me so happy to see that you have 2 gorgeous children and it's worked out for you guys.
Yeah.
How can you update me on that journey? Because I'm sure we'll hear about it on the show, but it is, you know, again, fans were right there with you in that struggle. And I think that it warms everyone's hearts to see you have this gorgeous family that you've always wanted.
I could not be happier with my little family of 4. I have 2 of the most beautiful, charismatic, smart, fun children. I think I know every mother and father says this, but in the world, you know, it's literally like, I want to pinch myself sometimes because I can't believe that this has happened for me. I know that there's so many people struggling out there to make their family happen. I've had hundreds, thousands of DMs over the years of women that had thanked me for, you know, talking about it. I think I was one of the first ones to talk about these issues on reality TV. And after that, I sort of saw a trend with, you know, with fertility and struggling and all of that.
Right.
So, yeah, I couldn't be happier and I hope that, you know, motivates people, women out there, families out there, whoever, men, women, whoever, to keep going and never give up, because it can happen. You just got to keep going.
Yeah. And I think, again, it's really special. I think it's to be that one. That's one of the things that I really love about Housewives in general. It's just that we really get kind of this, the start to finish arc of some of these really big struggles that you guys go through. And I think that there's a relatability there that really is, you can't make it up. You know, it's a real struggle. And so again, I'm excited to see your family dynamic, and, you know, because that's going to be a new aspect of the show for you, you know, to show that off.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, not everything is as it seems on social media. We don't, you know, post photos of us crying, right, or, you know, like the struggles, and some people are doing that, but for the most part, you see like the filtered, beautiful.
Yeah, it's the highlight reel.
The highlights of your life. So, you know, the fans and the viewers will definitely get to see, you know, these things that you don't see on social media.
Mm-hmm. And you do open up in these first 2 episodes about, you know, and you called it an emotional affair that Lenny had and how tough that was. But it sounds like you guys have gotten to the other side of that and really powered through that and overcome that. How are you able to get there? Like, how are you guys able to overcome that? Because obviously we didn't see that, but I'm guessing we'll hear about it.
You know, this happened so long ago. I don't know, back in 2013. And we were separated for all of like a month. But the love between us is so strong. And sometimes it takes something like that and a little separation and a little scare that you might not ever have that person again. And you won't be able to continue your life with that person, to make you understand that that is your person. So, some people have to go through that in order to get to where they are now. And I'm so happy we did, because if we didn't, I wouldn't have all of this and my 2 beautiful children. And yeah.
That's amazing. Again, and I think it's interesting because, again, there's a thing that people throw around called the housewives curse, that marriages can't last in this show. And I think obviously every marriage goes through their own struggles and every relationship goes through struggles. But I think for you to be one of those couples that can overcome those struggles and show that on TV that you can still make it work, I think is pretty cool.
I think people give up too easily.
Yeah.
And I think that love and your family and having history with somebody is worth fighting for.
That's well put. Another kind of annoying thing that was thrown at you on season 3 from a certain direction was that, you didn't work and all this stuff, but now you guys have the Hochstein Med Spa, which you're really involved with. And I'm assuming that you'll spotlight that on the show. What can you tell me about that? Because it seems like a pretty natural extension of like your husband being a plastic surgeon and that business.
Of course, med spas are everywhere. They're just popping up, every other day. But our med spa is the creme of the creme. It's the best med spa, the #1 med spa in all of South Florida. We have everything you could think of to, make you look better from the inside to your skin. And yeah, it was just a natural fit for, the expansion of the surgery center.
Mm-hmm. And you're involved in that. It sounds like
I'm super involved. And I was more involved. I was at the office 5 days a week, overseeing everything, making sure everything was to the Hochstein standard. Since I have a little one at home, I've, taken a step back a little bit. I'm in the office maybe 3 times a week. But now Elle's in preschool now. So I'm really there much more often. And I just love everything about it. I'm obsessed with everything beauty, health. So it's a perfect fit for me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you're sitting right now in your amazing home on Star Island, which again, we saw you guys buy it and sort of start the demo. Okay. Just that one little hammer moment of that they replay. It's really cute, right. But we never got to see the finished product. And you're sitting there now in front of this gorgeous tiled wall with the Birkin ice cream sculpture next to you. From what we've seen on the show, it looks incredible. I'm excited for you to be able to show that off too, because part of this is the aspirational lifestyle that we all love to watch.
This is it's still a work in progress. This house is ginormous, and I feel like there's always something that needs to be done. I don't think I'll ever be finished decorating the house. I always want to change something, but of course, this is my favorite room in the house. Lenny says, this is my woman cave. I hardly come out of here. It's beautiful. It's my safe place.
And you have a remote controlled closet, which goals.
I really thought out the closet. I thought of every detail. It was a dream of mine to have a closet like this. And I really made sure that there was nothing. I made sure everything was exactly the way I dreamt of it all these years.
Totally. I mean, the moving closet just reminds me of the closet from everyone's dreams in Clueless back in the day. You know what I mean? That's
I wanted to maximize the space. So I figured, why do I need more like cupboards? I need more closet space. How am I going to get up there? So
remote control.
Everything these days.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about some of the newbies. There's some new housewives that are around. There's some new friends of that are around. It's really kind of a packed group in the best way possible, I would say. Who among the group of new women will we see you get along with the most in this season?
Fortunately for me, I get along with all of them. I've known Kiki for a long time. She's been around. She's a model. She comes to our parties. Gertie, I recently met just before we started filming, and Nicole, I met during filming, and I love them all. Like, I really do get along with them. Right now, maybe there might be more things that
Future seasons.
yeah, I got to tune into that. But I guess I have the personality where everybody wants to be my friend, and that's fine with
Not
me.
a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. And there's a couple people that did not come back. There's Leah and there's Joanna, and that season 3 reunion was pretty fiery and it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Where, do you have any sort of contact with them these days or over the past 8 years?
I do. I am in contact with Leah. She's still a dear friend. I wish that she was on the show. Actually, I do. I think that she would have brought a lot to the show. I love Leah. Joanna, after the reunion, we have not spoken or seen each other at all.
At all.
Zero, nothing. But honestly, so much time has passed. I really don't have any hard, ill feelings towards her at all. I wish her all the best. She has a beautiful baby girl. She's married. She seems happy, and I'm happy for her.
Mm-hmm. And with Leah, was it just that she didn't want to come back to the show? She was kind of done with this life?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure
what
exactly happened there, but maybe next season.
Okay. All right. I mean, she was synonymous with Real Housewives of Miami those first 3 seasons. So it's interesting seeing her not around,
Yeah. I love her big personality, and she's very opinionated, and she tells it as it is. And
she sure does.
If you see a cameo, you'll have to tune in.
So, I mean, again, we're really at the beginning of this 4th season. It's really a kind of a rebirth for the show. And, it kicks off with this amazing OG's lunch, which I think that was the perfect way to start it off. I think to have the familiar faces back before we get introduced to everyone else. I think
by the way, I never actually looked that up.
I think it's originally Original Gangster, but it's just now people just use it to refer to like to the OG cast members, the original cast members. I think that was an amazing way to start it off. And I think it's an amazing way to launch this new era of the show. And, I would just love for you to tease what's to come. I mean, there seems like there's so much to unpack, and it's going to be a wild ride, but what can you kind of tease for me?
Well, I think you and most people saw the teaser, which gave a lot of, of information about what's to come. There's a lot of drama, a lot of fighting, of course, and any housewife, you can't have the housewives without drama and fighting. I don't want to give too much away, but I just felt like, before every group gathering, I had a little bit of anxiety because I knew something was going to go down. I knew that with all of these strong personalities that we weren't just going to have like a simple, beautiful, like lunch with like Maya and hugging. Never. As soon as it started going well, I'm like, okay, I think it's going to be okay. Boom. Something happens. So that's all I can tell you.
Did you feel though? I mean, did you feel as though, like, again, since so much time has passed, and Real Housewives as just like as a universe, as a franchise in general, has kind of evolved over the years. And I think there's some similarities to what it was obviously in the early days, but it's changed as the times have gone on. What have you found was most different about this experience versus your first go around? Was it that it was more explosive in that way? Because I mean, you guys had your explosive moments early on as well.
Well, when I did the show years ago, 9 years ago, social media wasn't as in your face as it was today.
Right.
I think Instagram was just released. Like, I think I just joined Instagram at the time. So we didn't have all of these like super fan accounts. Where it's almost like a whole new animal.
Yeah.
Social media, where we didn't have that before. So you can't escape it. You wake up to like, whoa, you're getting tagged in this and tagged in that. Sure. It's a lot. So for me, it's a little more get a little more anxious every time a new episode comes out because I can't hide from it.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't like it, I can't hide from it. It's there.
It's not just Karen beating Adriana to the tweet. It's all the Instagram. It's all the Instagram
it's like stuff. Everyone's beating us to everything.
Everything, right? Like as it's happening, it's like being posted, right? Exactly. Yeah. And then lastly, I mean, also like, it's crazy to think, but you know, you were 29 when you joined the show, which is fairly young in Real House. Were you even younger? But like, you know, you were in your 20s joining the Real Housewives, which is it's fairly young in this world to be on one of these shows. And you know, I'm curious how you feel like you have changed or grown in the past almost decade of your life that you're bringing with you to the show now.
I think the younger me, I was a little more, I think someone said it, I was a little more naive. And that's probably true. You know, everyone was a little bit older than me, maybe a little bit intimidated because this was so new to me.
Yeah.
And now it's not. I'm like, okay, whatever. I've been there, done that. I'm more secure in who I am. I know who I am more than I did 10 years ago, of course. I have a lot more life experience. I have 2 kids. You know, I've been through a lot. So with that, you know, it changes you somewhat as a person, but I'm still the same old G, but I'm different.
I love that. Great answer. Great answer. Yeah. Well, Lisa, I'm so excited to have gotten time with you. I'm so excited to have The Real Housewives of Miami fully back. And I think I speak for a lot of people in the Bravo world that we're all just like so looking forward to having you back in our lives, because I think, as you know, people have been calling for this for a while.
They have.
Yeah.
And we're giving the people what they want.
I love it. I love it. Well, Lisa, everyone will tune in to The Real Housewives of Miami on Peacock. New episodes on Thursdays. And thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. For more celebrity interviews, subscribe to We Should Talk on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If you like what you heard, please rate and review us, as any show of support you can give us would be greatly appreciated. You can follow me at Gibsonoma on Twitter and Instagram, and you can follow In The Know at In The Know on Twitter and at Watch In The Know on Instagram. We'll talk to you next time.